Good morning. So today is another wet day in harvest, so mixing up some cover crop seeds. We just get ready. Might as well be prepared as soon as the straw's gone and baled off the field, so we can get in with the drill. As we've got 3 tanks on our avatar, I'm doing 3 different size seeds just because it makes it easier. Kind of a larger seed, a medium seed, and a very small seed. So we've got white mustard, Phacelia, oil radish, smart radish, and then a little bit of oilseed rape just left over from our trial. So that's all the small seeds mixed up, as you can see. It's about 450 kilos, I think, altogether. But this is only a tiny part of the overall mix. Altogether, 3 kilos a hectare of this stuff's going across 160 hectares, so it's not a lot. So there's about 200 kilos of seed there, ready to go in this bag. Rest of it all going in the bag. So we got all the stuff coming out of that shed there. We've put the small seeds in the drill, and now the medium seeds are all coming in here to be mixed up. A lot of linseed and oats and stuff next. Micro seed roller in, small seed roller in, and then the large seed roller going in. Need a longer reach drill, can't get there. Only got a little bit left on the trailer now. Good morning, we are back to mixing up cover crops again. We've got some spring beans left behind me, left over from the trials. Now just going to mix them with a big seed mix from last year and also some peas as well, to form the last part of the mix. Basically, I've got so many seeds left over from trials and cover crops that didn't get done last year, so there's going to be quite a thick seed rate of cover crops this year. Going on now is the big mix of seeds from last year. There is peas in there, naked oats, vetch, even more beans. And yeah, so this was the stuff that didn't get drilled last year, basically, because it was so dry, we didn't bother putting anything in the ground. So it's 10th of July now and everything is mixed up. We're not calibrated yet just because the drill tractor is on a grain trailer at the moment and we'll be going combining in a bit. So no point switching all that over at the moment. We'll calibrate on a wet morning, only take half an hour or so. So it's 3 different batches all mixed up. I will put the costs and the seed rate on the screen now, hopefully. I think it was 35 and 32 kilos a hectare. No, sorry, 38 and 35 kilos a hectare with 32 pounds and 35 pounds a hectare. So that is the most I've ever spent on cover crops before, just because the seed rate has gone way up because I've got so many odds and sods seed left over. So just wanted to use them up. I'm going to do a slightly different mix before what's going into peas and before what's going into spring oats and spring barley, just because I don't want too many cereals before the spring oats and spring barley, and so they're going to be more legume heavy and less cereal heavy. There still will be some, I think, oats and barley in the cover crop before. And then prior to the peas, there's going to be barely any legumes in there. It's going to be more cereals and the brassica type mix. But obviously there will be a little bit of peas in there as well. I don't mind too much. First 2 fields we cut for wheat. Hopefully get some straw baled off soon and get some stuff in the ground.
Third time before you can go. That'll be more again, won't it?
Back calibrating onto the drill again. Here we've got the large seeds, peas, beans, naked oats. I think there's a few vetches in there as well. Onto medium seeds now. Barley, buckwheat, oats, linseed, peas, sunflowers, all sorts. Onto the very small seeds. Oh, focus. And we got spring oilseed rape, mustard, what else is there? Phacelia, and radish. Getting the straw moved, all been baled. So we have just started drilling cover crops. We've just been rained off combining, and you can still probably see behind me there's a little bit of spitty rain. It just absolutely went for it. So we're just going to try a little bit, just get the drill all ready, and if the rain stops then we'll keep going, but we're probably just going to give it 10 minutes and give up. But we're just going straight into stubble here, just trying to get it in as early as possible. Probably carry on with this tomorrow. Straw has finally been cleared off the fields. We've got our cover crops drilling going now. No real rush to harvest at the moment, with weather coming along and all wheat in the shed. Should I find anything? Oh, there's a barley, one of the barley seeds left over. Couldn't really find any other seeds there, but I suppose if I can't find the seeds then neither can the birds, which is good. So cover crops now in the ground, or starting to go in the ground. Got a few fields in now. Got 160 hectares of cover crops in this year, so a great big chunk of the farm. You see the nice pretty drill rows behind me. Straw's off on most of the fields, well enough to give us a good go at it anyway. And with some decent weather approaching and all wheat in the shed, only really need those few days to get some nice dry oats, and peas have just been sprayed off today, so some peas in the shed in probably about 2 weeks time. Yep, so cover crops starting to go in the ground now. Give us all those soil health benefits, a bit of sheep food, bit of nutrient scavenging, some good rooting, hopefully aerate all the soil, get that soil life working for us. So happy days, ready for sheep in about 3 months time probably. 2 weeks in the ground for the cover crops, drilled on the 12th of August, it's 27th today. A few brassicas there, linseed, buckwheat, peas, more brassicas, mustard or oil radish, going well. Cover crops coming up well. Really motoring along now. We've had this heat in early September, along with a few weeds, but really getting going now. Really pushing along now. 7th of September. Funny enough, that's a spring rake crop left over from the tiles. Not been touched by flea beetle. Not a mark. "15th of September now, 1 month post drilling. just for comparison, this is, I think, second week of September drilled cover crops. If that is wrong, I'll put a bit of text at the bottom, but you can just see the difference in growth. It's just staggering. Yes, there's something there, but it's not going to be a lot of grazing, and they better put on some growth quick, because we'll soon be in October. Again, versus drilling much earlier, well, a month earlier, mid-August, so not horrendously early. And you can see got buckwheat, radish, and plenty of mustard flowering. 19th of November now, mustard still flowering. We've got peas flowering, linseeds flowering. Beans are still a fair bit off. Big old oak plant there. I think that's oil radish. It looks like a sea of mustard from the top because it's quite tall, but there's plenty underneath. Look at the size of that linseed plant. Hopefully you can see all the pollinators buzzing around on this cool day. You can see now that we've had our first frost and the buckwheat's just dying off. There's one of those other radishes, I think that's a smart radish. Amazing how clean the beans are. One thing to note this year is the Phacelia definitely hasn't done as well as it's done in previous years. Vetch looks okay, vining nicely. But yeah, it's really small. Wasn't a huge amount in the mix this year, but I don't think it likes the wet as much as some of the crops, like mustard, for example. Some areas in this field where a tram line was, and I just went over lightly with a disc, just driving down the tram line, just because it was quite rutted. After the cover crop was drilled, obviously, you can see not much has come up, apart from an absolute smattering of, well, 99% black grass. Funny how wet it's walking compared to the rest of the field.